Hello friends, welcome to World's Greatest Kiting. I'm here with some new friends. I'm here with Lorelei and Aaron King, or King Aaron, as he likes to be called.
Yes, thank you.
I thought it was really important to talk to these guys because they're a unique couple where a lot of people that are in kiting don't usually travel together if they're married. Some people do, but I've noticed that they have a pretty strong team going between the two of them. And I just wanted to talk to them about how they roll. So, Aaron and Lorelei, how did you guys meet?
Well, we met through work. We both worked for the same restaurant company at the time. They sent me to his restaurant to help out. And while I was out there, he took me kite flying one time. And he had the Premier Fish, Mega Fish, which was his big kites at the time.
That was the biggest kite that you had at the time?
Yeah, those are the largest ones I had at the time.
Okay.
Amongst some smaller line laundry items and stuff like that. So.
But that wasn't the only kite that, you had some other kites that you were into like earlier on, right?
Yeah, stunt kites, Revolution,
Okay.
small single lines and stuff like that. But
Cool.
that was my first obsession and dive into the large inflatable kites.
Right on. So then he had that small kite, or the biggest of the kites. I say small now because in relation to what I've seen them flying recently, that seems like a pretty small kite.
Yeah,
Yes.
we've definitely upgraded since then.
Yeah.
They're still one of my favorite kites. They're great flyers in high wind, but yeah, our collection has definitely grown exponentially.
So when you first met, how many kites between the two of you did you have?
I didn't have any kites.
Okay.
He just,
0 and I don't know, probably less than 100, but maybe around there.
Okay. So pretty decent collection.
Yeah.
You didn't have any, and so you got into kiting because you met
yeah, he took me
Aaron.
to one time and I thought it was the coolest thing ever. And so I think when we met, then that's when I was into it, then he kind of.
That's when she became obsessed with me. Started stalking me, I might say. Because shortly after that, she moved to New York, and we continued to talk. And then eventually, I ended up moving to New York. I sold everything. I quit the restaurant I worked for, sold my house, and leap of faith, jumped out to live with her in New York. And
And a couple months later, I was like, "You want to move to Minnesota next?"
yeah, and that's where
Now we're here now.
Now we reside in Minneapolis and have a great time there. And it's an awesome place to be, especially in the winter for us, because there is so many lakes that freeze. So we have our choice of fields, the land of 10,000 lakes. So,
Yeah.
tons and tons of kite fields that we can share with different communities, the kiting that we do.
And there's a lot of lakes just right in the Minneapolis area, so we get to be pretty close to the city and still fly.
Okay. And you guys are right in Minneapolis.
Yep.
And what do you do for work then? Because you don't fly kites for a living. So what do you do? What do each of you do?
I'm a chef of a restaurant, so executive chef. So I have a team of people that work for me, and then
And I'm a general manager at
Yeah.
a restaurant.
Cool.
so we control both sides of the house of restaurants.
Completely unrelated from kiting. So this is like a major hobby for the
Yeah.
both of you.
Yeah.
It actually makes it a lot more difficult to make it two kiting events because they're always on the weekends, and Saturdays are our biggest day of the work day, and Saturdays are the best, or the kite day usually. So.
Yeah.
We make time for it, but Mondays and Tuesdays are usually my day off, so I go out and fly with a couple of guys up in the local area. The president and I fly together quite a bit.
What is the kiting club that you?
So we have
play
Minnesota
with?
Kite Society, which is a smaller group with I think a lot of kiting communities. But we have a handful of 5 or 6 flyers that we fly together pretty regularly.
Cool.
And I'm solely really the only large kite flyer in Minneapolis. Coming from Omaha, I used to fly with Don Murphy, Jeff Coons, and a couple other flyers that have been in the game for a long time. And it was always a competition who had the biggest and best kite next, which was fun. It was a fun dynamic. But it's awesome to be the person that puts on the show for the most part, that brings in the crowds.
Yeah. Well, you two have the capability of putting on an entire show. That's
Yes.
for sure. And as I've shown in some of the videos, the king pile is like the biggest pile, and the trailer. I don't know how you need to upgrade your trailer size.
Yeah.
I think.
Plan.
Yeah. Don't do too many things
was-
to it before you upgrade.
That was a hand-me-down. It was
Yeah.
on her parents' property. I'm like, that would work pretty good for kiting. It was just sitting there. So
It's great if you had half the amount of kites
Yeah,
that you had.
yeah.
We want to be able to get either like a golf cart or a side by side that we can drive into the, because those kites are pretty heavy. It's hard to trek them down a field.
Yeah, yeah, it is convenient to have a cart or something with those.
Yeah.
I mean, each kite, let's say, you told me the other day that the red whale weighed
I think it's 65
65 pounds. Yeah,
Well,
this
the
is-
octopus weighs more.
Yeah, I mean, we have 3 overlarge kites in our collection. So
what's the
No.
heaviest kite that you own? Do you
I
know?
believe the octopus is the heaviest, just over 70 pounds.
70. That's a big kite.
Yeah.
Man, that's big. So I have a question. What I think is unique about the two of you is it seems like you guys are really tight and everyone's got a good respect for you on the field and you operate really well within the team environment.
Yep.
Kiting is obviously a major bond between the two of you. Can you
Yep.
talk about that? Like, what has that been like for the two of you in your relationship? Has it been all good? Has it been like the thing that's brought you together? Has it been stressful? What's kiting done for you in your marriage
I
now?
would say it's a roller coaster somewhat. You know, I have the obsession of buying new kites. I always want a new child to add to the family. Since we don't have a family, and those are our children, you know, outside of our dog
dog.
at home and stuff like that. But
Which you saw flying also. The dog that we had is
Replicated.
designed after our dog.
Oh, that's cool.
yeah, but you know, I mean, we both do financially well, so I mean, we don't really have any responsibility. So kiting is my obsession. I tease her that she needs to find her obsession also. You know, she supports me and she loves being part of the kiting scene with me.
It's a lot of times just coming home and seeing a new kite bag from New Zealand on the front porch, and you're like, "What is this?" But otherwise, as far as like the team aspect on the field, I think it definitely makes us stronger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In
It's
my
just-
in my vows to her, I would tell her any kite purchase, and I've done pretty good at it. I need to do better at it. Yeah, I mean, she would debate on that one, but yeah, it's been great. You know, together having that financial stability to be able to just buy stuff and enjoy kiting, and the obsession that I have. So she's been super supportive.
Well, I think that the wedding gift of the red
Oh,
whale was so cool. I was really impressed. That was my favorite kite of the day on the day you had that up. That whole line of kites was that was amazing. I like the color, and black and red is your colors.
It's my go-to.
Yeah.
You know,
Why did you pick black and red?
growing up in Nebraska, Husker football was everything. You know, there's no pro sports in Nebraska, so Husker football was what you supported. You know, I didn't go to University of Lincoln or like that. Just I do kind of look like a football. I could be a lineman. I'm not your stereotypical chef, I guess, being tall and kind of broad, but yeah, I mean, everybody does all the other colors, and red and black was always something I just gravitated to, and I'm slowly adding other pieces and colors. She loves purple, so that's an easy transition, but it's just easy for me to always buy black and red and white.
And
That's
then
just-
his wedding gift to me was the purple whale shark
Yeah,
that then had hand painted spots by Cindy Thrall.
yeah.
And
Okay.
so they look like mermaid scales all over. I'm obsessed with mermaids. So
Yeah.
then, yeah, we got the purple whale shark with mermaid scales on it. It's beautiful.
Do you own a mermaid kite?
We do. She doesn't like to keep her top on, so family events, it's not
Oh.
appropriate to bring out. We haven't figured out the,
We just recently acquired the Neptune and Mermaid from
Yeah.
another person,
We
Don
haven't had
Murphy,
a-
kind of my mentor, kite flyer. You know, growing up, he
Okay.
was actually our neighbor. He lived right behind my parents all those years, and he'd been in kiting at that point probably 25 years. And somehow, I remember going to a hobby store in Papillion and picking up a Skynosaur, and then flying it, and somehow we got hooked up with Don Murphy, which happened to just be right behind my parents. You know, sport kites of the 90s, and then slowly progressed into what we do now.
Very cool.
So yeah, I mean, big shout out to him. I mean, he was a regional director also for a long time for the AKA. So, but unfortunately, he's getting to the age. It's just those kites are just too much for him. So I want to continue to carry his legacy on with flying the kites that, you know, that it was enamoring me that I couldn't afford at that time. So I get a few of his pieces now to fly for him. So it's really cool. Yeah, the present she bought for me for our wedding, an overlarge whale. You know, the video of me, like, I cried. I couldn't believe it. I was like in denial. It was pretty funny. So
It was funny.
when we watch the video back, I'm just like, it still makes me cry actually, because it was such a thoughtful gift, you know. Unfortunately, she says she'll never buy me another kite probably, because
I figured
she can't top
get the
that
biggest
one.
and best for the wedding gift, and I never have to get another big gift like that again.
Yeah.
Somehow I foresee you buying more kites for him in the future. I can just
Thank
see
you.
this.
We'll
Thank
see.
you for that.
You're welcome.
Thank
I'm
you
just-
for
I'm
putting
helping
it
you
out
out,
there. I appreciate that.
Well, guys, it's been really cool talking to you. It's been awesome hanging out with you over the weekend and getting to know you some. I love the way you guys operate. I think it's so cool that you guys are a team the way you are, and that
Yeah.
kites are part of that bond. I think it's really neat. Well, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for talking to all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
It was great to meet you also. You know,
Thank you.
I know of you, but I've never met you in person, so it was great to meet you in person. So.
It's a good thing about these kite festivals. You get to, you know, cross paths with a lot of people you see online, and
Yeah.
this has been really fun. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Friends, thanks for being here. I appreciate it. We all appreciate it. See you in the next video, and happy flying.